What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we go back to Murder Mystery 2 once again. This was a game that I used to play back when my channel was still developing. What many people don't know is that recently I've been playing Murder Mystery 2 for quite some time, and I wanted to start potentially making videos on this game. And with that, this is me playing 100 games of Murder Mystery 2 in one day, all for a video. Also, before we begin, if you haven't already, please consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons down below. It helps me out a bit, and I thank you for all your support. Without further ado, let's begin with game number 1. In game 1, I get chosen as an innocent. Typical game 1 role. I start moving around and I immediately find the murderer sitting with the gun. So I ran straight for her once she moved away and took care of her swiftly from there. Game 2, I get chosen as an innocent again. I heard shooting almost immediately and I looked over to see the sheriff shooting at basically nothing. It wasn't until the sheriff shot an innocent and died. Weird. The murder was taken down shortly after that, resulting in victory. Game 3, I received the sheriff role. An interesting role early on. That's nice, but I immediately saw the murderer kill outside. I think you know what happened to her. Game 4, I'm innocent again, and I only find the murderer after a minute of searching. I'm forced to move around this area while not being spotted since I didn't have a gun. But just as I say that, I find the gun. So it took longer than I wanted to admit, but I got the job done. Game 5, and I'm sheriff again. No quick window, unfortunately. In fact, the murderer made it very annoying for me to try and shoot him. He hid behind this wall and tried to throw knives to kill me. I finally got him after, quite some time. Yeah, that was pretty annoying. Game 6, and we get our first murder game of many. I'm looking for my first kill, and I find someone. She tried to get away, but failed at my second slash. I'm able to secure kill after kill. I even found this random guy in the truck before he got slaughtered. Even after all that, I lost on time. Where was the last person? I have no idea. Guess we'll never know. Game 7, and I find this really laggy murderer. She kept randomly stopping, and next thing we know, she's almost right next to us, ready to kill. Other than that, she was taken down pretty easily. Game 8, and I get sheriff. And I'm thinking to myself, where is everyone? Until I find a dead body with radioactive activity, and then realize who the murderer is. With that, I lured her into the main room and shot her instantly, just like that. I'll be honest, I do not know what even was happening during game 9. The last thing I saw before the game ended was the murderer and sheriff killing each other at the same time, along with their bodies falling on top of each other. Game 10, and we find the murderer camping by the gun again. I wanted to see if I can get another camper win, but someone else got the gun before I can even do anything. Either way, we got the win. Game 11, and we get our second murder game. This time, I was able to completely sweep everyone out, giving us our first murder win. And as a bonus, I did that in 42 seconds. So that was nice to take in. Game 12, and I see this very interesting sequence. The sheriff drops right outside, and someone else just casually grabs the gun while the murderer's walking away, not even addressing the fact that someone picked up the gun. This led to their downfall very quickly, and he grabbed another win. Game 13, we encountered our first death. In fact, I actually lost the first game of many. I could not find the gun for the life of me, so I succumbed to my fate shortly after. It was unfortunate, but it is what it is. The same went to game 14. I died again, this time as sheriff. It wasn't even a fair death either. As you saw, I died to lag. It went from bad to worse once I realized that those two are teaming. That's rude. The murderer lost on time, however, and innocence won. But that did not feel like a victory at all. There wasn't much to say about game 15, except the murderer was AFK the entire time. We got the easy victory. Death came to me in game 16, completely plunging me back into failure. Unfortunately for us, this cost us the game, as we lost our second game. Game 17, we get our next hero win, however, partially redeeming my losses from earlier. It was actually a really close death, but I miraculously survived and killed the murderer. Game 18, I'm the murderer, and after getting some kills, my fate was sealed when I got shot for the first time, ending in another loss. Brutal. Game 19, and I just sat here throughout almost the entire round in this one spot. I just saw everyone get killed one by one as the round slowly progressed. Near the end of the round, I decided to try and grab the gun for another hero win. This quickly backfired as I was chased by the murderer. Luckily, I performed a game-winning juke that gave me enough time to either survive or shoot the murderer. I ended up winning on time, but either way, that was a close game. Nothing particularly interesting happened on game 20, apart from the fact that the sheriff spawned in the lobby, so we had to win on time. We won pretty easily. Game 21, the murderer made their presence very early. As a result, they were taken down very early. Yeah, this was a pretty quick game. Game 22, and within the first second, I spot the murderer. I absolutely bombed the first shot, though. Let me change that. Yeah, that's better. There wasn't anything to say about Game 23 either. Just one shot killed the murder and ended in a win. How fun. Game 24, and oh look, a wild camper on the loose. I attempted to make my way towards the gun, and obviously the murder didn't let us through. However, I grabbed the gun in the hopes of ending the game here. However, I died, which once again led to our imminent demise of defeat. Game 25, and you see this player? This is what is known as a severe, high-impact, and terrible player. He went out of his way to try to target me first, and he successfully killed me. I later found out that he was teaming with another player this whole time. He left her to kill last, and he won this game, ending in another loss. Game 26, I get picked as murder, perhaps to get my revenge. Immediately, I start hunting down players insanely quick, and eventually kill the teammates. I ended up winning this game, redeeming myself from a horrible loss. Game 27, I spotted the murder and used this scanning system to avoid the murder for some time. I grabbed the gun again in the hopes of ending this game with a hero win. Somehow, I still died. To lag. How cruel. Game 28, we got chased for a little bit until the murderer was inevitably shot. Very boring game, but another victory. Game 29, I murder again. I was still carrying out several kills in this game, eventually leading to victory in 44 seconds. How cool. Unfortunately, I reached a streak of losing games, as I died in games 30, 31, and 32. I raged twice after these games, forcing me to hop to another server once more. Luckily for me, in game 33, I'm chosen as the sheriff, and I'm still able to land my shots in just the right place. After that, I was able to get a winning streak going. I got an innocent win on game 34, 35, 36, 37, and finally, 38. This streak ends at game 39, where I unfortunately perished under the hands of the murderer. The team was able to win for me and the other innocents, however, so that's that. Game 40, and I see a gun all the way at the other side of the hallway. I quickly grab the gun and execute the murder. A nice and easy hero win. Right back to killing game 41, started off with 2 kills. I started wiping off everyone again and found the last player hiding in this giant tower, or whatever you want to call it. But anyways, another murder win for me. We're just gonna skim by game 42. The murder left the game in like 17 seconds, so nothing to see there. However, the real trouble starts on game 43. Not only was the audio completely out for part of this game, but I ended up dying. This wasn't a big deal at first, but I went on spectator mode only to find out that I've just encountered another set of teamers while spectating. Looks like I'll have to do something about this. Game 44 was probably the most hilarious thing I have ever seen. In fact, I'm gonna let this game speak for itself.
No, don't come close. Come here. No! Bro!
Now that's what I call humiliation. Game 45, and I'm able to land another game of revenge against the teamers. I'm picked as a murderer, and I start by blocking a quick shortcut upstairs. As you see here, they start complaining right away.
Move! Move! Bro!
I land my first kill on one of the teamers, planning to go for the next, which I do successfully. The rest of the players were taken care of slowly but surely. This resulted in a victory. Game 46 unfortunately did not end well, as I was found. This led to the teamers basically winning. However, when they killed each other at the same time, the game stated that the sheriff killed the murderer, leading to a statistical innocent victory. Game 47 ended quick as you saw there. Nothing much to say about this game. Game 48, I see one of the teamers camping around the gun. At this point, it was either I juked the murderer and grabbed the gun in the hopes of winning, or the other person would get the gun before I do. With that, I took my chances, and lost. Luckily, we won by 1 innocent. He was hiding on top of the lava bucket, as you see here. Game 49, I got picked as murderer, and I once again slaughtered the entire server again. No, this is starting to get repetitive. I need to lose as murderer at least a couple more times. Game 50, and one of the teamers was murdered yet again. However, the sheriff took her down, eliminating the possibility that they could execute their plan. Game 51 was the last game before I took a break for a short period of time. All I did was evade the murderer long enough for them to run out of time, resulting in a victory once more. There was no interesting twist in Game 52, we just waited for the time to run out, and we won easily. However, it's time for another massacre. We just received Murderer Roll Game 53. I've so far been on a rampage with these murder games, so hopefully that doesn't change, as I was able to easily win this game. Game 54, and the sheriff drops on the other side of the hallway. I sneakily grabbed the gun and shot her before she could even throw her knife at me. Simple as that. We have another camper, Game 55, and it looks like he isn't gonna move anytime soon. So I played it safe and let the time do the work for me. The murderer refused to leave the gun, so I won this game without too much hustle. It was just the beginning of Game 56, and the murderer sprinted straight for me and killed me in 7 seconds. That's not exactly the most ideal thing to happen, though I've had worse. Luckily, we were able to win by one innocent yet again. She actually almost found the last person, but she just did not have enough time. We were able to win games 57, 58, and 59. All games were smooth, and we stayed alive in all of them. This streak immediately gets shut down, however, as on game 60, I was brutally murdered right off at the start. The team was able to figure out who the murderer was, but man, getting killed at the start is so overwhelming sometimes. Game 61 was a pretty intense round. I'm just gonna let it play it out here. Did she get the job done, though? No, she don't. Oh, God. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, God. Oh, this is not. Oh, dude. Oh! Okay. Doesn't feel safe anymore. At least not now. Yes! There were some very close calls, but I survived the hunt and killed the murderer. GG's. Nothing notable happened in Game 62. I simply sat back once more while the murderer stressed out over time. We came out with the victory yet again. Game 63, and I was murdered. Before I started ripping through the crowd, I had the chance to kill my friend, but decided not to. You would think that I would go for her. Let's not make that the case. Little did I realize that this was my biggest mistake yet. I started killing all the innocents one by one. I hit this insane knife throw, but then... I got killed by my friend, who I tried to assassinate first thing. Crazy game, but I lost. Game 64 lasted 9 seconds long. Looks like the murderer couldn't hold himself back from being shot as fast as possible. We got the win shortly after that. However, Game 65 did not go well. I died to an indirect knife throw, and later find out that... Wait a second! No! Yep, that's right. There's another group of teamers. Not only that, but there were only 2 survivors left to win the game for us. Luckily, one person survived, giving us the victory. Let's go! Game 66, and I get the murder roll again, once again seeking revenge. I took out one of the teamers right away and was able to kill a couple others with knife throws. The sheriff was isolated away in the garage, so it didn't matter if I let some innocents pass me like you see here. After a little while, it was just me and the sheriff. Obviously, you should have known that I would come victorious after that. Well, at least out of the 2 of us. I had to find one more person before getting my well-deserved win. Game 67 was an all-out run. All of us had no gun and were forced to evade the murderer until time ticked down. The majority of us were able to survive this round. How cool. Game 68 ended quickly. The murderer must have shown themselves too early in the open, so nothing much to say here. However, it's time for Game 69. You would think that every random moment would happen, but nothing happened in that game either. I chilled on the top floor while the team got the murder right below me. Smooth game for 69. Game 70 also ended fairly quickly as well. Nothing to see here. Game 71 was another very fast game. This time, I got to be the hero of this round. As I wrapped around the first floor to find the gun, I was met by the murderer, but with a quick shot, I killed her and won the game for the innocents once again. Game 72, and one of the teamers get the murder roll. In fact, this situation was a lot worse than last time. There were actually 3 teamers, and since the bank was a small map, there was little room for error. I was the last survivor standing, hiding away from the teamers. However, they start to get impatient and try to let the murderer win. Little did they know that I was still alive, hiding away in the vents. The murderer could not figure out where I was in time, and I won this game. It was certainly a big yikes for them. Game 73, 74, and 75 ended super early. All 3 murderers were swiftly killed in a team effort, and as a result, we grabbed 3 more wins. Game 76 was a very intense game of hide and seek. One of the teamers gets the murder roll again, and they have the ghost effect, a notorious perk for several reasons. Once again, I'm the last one standing. However, unlike them, I have ideas that they would not think of themselves. I hid in a spot that was open but often can be passed. I tried to spot one day ago, but failed. This was a chance to redeem myself. And redeem myself I did, as I survived the hunt yet again, giving us another win. I was Murderer Game 77, seeking to troll the teamers yet again. I started out with a double kill and moved towards the main area of the house. I'm shredding through innocents one by one, and before I know it, it's down to the final two. They were super close to the gun, however. But this is how I won.
Oh my god, your aim better be good.
Yes! Now that had to be the closest encounter yet, and as a bonus, I won that game in about 36 seconds. Game 78, and it's another hunt game. The third teamer gets murdered, and I'm trying to lose them in the sewers. I go back to the exact same spot that I was hiding in Game 75, and start to camp out there. The game ended early, and I hopped out of my spot to greet the other teamers that they couldn't get me. Joke's on them. Unfortunately for me, in Game 79, the same teamer gets murdered. And instead of killing everyone one by one like a civilized player, he sprints right after me and kills me first. How rude. Anyways, the team was able to win on time, but that just did not feel right. Game 80, and I'm the last one standing again. No hunt game this time, but I was struggling to find if the murderer was on the other side of this wall, or preparing to chase after me. Before I could even think about that, the time ran out, and I got another win for the innocents. Game 81 did not start well. First 6 seconds, and I already died to a laggy murder. She was also speed glitching around the map, but that didn't matter because next thing I knew, she was shot before she could try anything else. Nothing interesting happened in Game 82. I just wrapped around the mansion several times and won on time yet again. Game 83, and somehow, this is the first jump spammer on Game 83. Anyways, the sheriff drops and I'm hustling over to get the gun, but the speed glitcher is right behind me. We both missed the gun once, but I grab it the second time, leading to a great hero win again. No twist, Game 84, I just sat back and waited for time to tick down once again. Innocents won the game. Game 85, and just like Game 80, I died by the same speed glitcher. Although this time it was kind of my fault that I died. I lost all hope that game, but somehow the sheriff came out and shot her. The murderer probably messed around 1 second too long and paid the price for it. Either way, that's an innocent win. Game 86 was a long game, but I got a win after all that time. The murderer had a small avatar, along with the ability to basically camouflage in darkness. Luckily, only light was spread throughout the game as I knocked out another hero win. Game 87 was another quick game. We were chased for a little bit of time before the murderer was executed in the living room. Pretty short game. I'm murderer for Game 88, and I knocked out a decent amount of kills. Unfortunately, with my increase in losses, I lose this game as well. I was shot after looking for the other people on the other side of the wall. Game 89 was also an unfortunate defeat. I grabbed the gun and got ready to search for the murderer. Then I got assassinated after I passed by another wall. We lost that game, and I started to worry that I could potentially screw up the last few games, especially Game 100. Game 90 was an uneventful game. It was cool to see another low-level defeat a player significantly higher than them, but nothing much there. Game 91 was a crazy hero win. I'm trying to bail out from the fight since I knew that I could survive on time. What I didn't expect was that the murderer came out to try and reach me before the doors closed. Not only did she not make it to the door, I killed her before she could even give it a shot. That was one of the more prouder hero wins that I had. Game 92 and 93 were also uneventful games. I simply sat back and avoided the murder in both games and waited for the sheriff to shoot both murders, in which all of that happened. Game 94 is the last murder game in this video. However, I got shot after only 2 kills. I was pretty devastated after this, but I just had to move on. Game 95 was another loss. I got killed pretty early on, and the murderer went on to kill the rest of the server. Tough game to my statistics and my mental status, but I knew I could redeem myself before the 100 games ended. Luckily, I found redemption right away, as I received Sheriff role in Game 96. Ironically, however, this was the first Sheriff victory that I had after 52 games. I was still able to shoot the murder successfully though, so that was nice. Game 97 was the most intense game yet. I was one of the only people left, and I was trying to lose the murder in the sewers again. I'm still trying to evade the murder, but that's when I hear the sheriff die. Now I was the last one, and with the history of me dying to this murder several times, things look bleak. However, I made an unpredictable move to stay back instead of going for the gun, and with that, I was able to successfully evade the murder long enough to win on time. It was very close too, considering that the game displayed 900 survival XP, yet the game didn't end after almost 10 seconds. That was a very good game to win, and definitely redeeming quality towards my sanity. Games 98 and 99 ended up being uneventful games again. Even for some of the last few games, nothing interesting happened for both of these games. The murderer would either get shot instantly or lose on time. But now, it's time for game 100, and we have one final camper. To start, someone grabs the gun and almost sneaks away, but fails to do so. The murderer tries to reach me on top of the truck, but that was the last mistake that a person would make in this video. I grabbed the gun, and with one final push, secure my last win of the video. It was also a funny observation to note that Game 1 and Game 100 had the same map with the exact same outcome. A camper getting outplayed by myself. Now with all 100 games completed, these are my final statistics. Guys, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. This took an insanely long time to gather all the footage and edit all of this into one video. Nonetheless, I have successfully been able to play 100 games in one day. If you want to see more MM2 content on this channel, you know what to do. Consider subscribing and dropping a like on this video before you go, and I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, and may God bless.